would you stay till the morning light? Or would you follow me? Or would you let it?
Hi, thank you for joining. My name is Charity Lambert and I am a makeup artist. I work with Lime Life by Alcone Products. Brows are one of my favorite things. I love, 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 love doing my brows. And recently I found a new way to make it even better. Didn't know I could do that. Didn't know I could make my brows even better, but it is. They're faster. It's just like so good. It was time to update this video. If you've seen my last one, I have shifted my method, and yeah, we'll just kind of get right to it. So the first thing, I already have foundation on, nothing else, nothing on my eyes. I'm gonna move into doing my shadow next. So I'm only gonna show you guys the brows in this particular video. The first thing you're going to do is just wet, hopefully a clean, this is kind of nasty. I should wash this. Okay, so wet it with your first base primer, and then you're gonna just go over your brows like that. If you've already done your foundation and you have a lot of product in your brows, then you might want to wash them with a Q-tip and a little bit of witch hazel. That will get rid of any of the excess. But if you're in a rush, this is gonna work too. So you kind of just like go right over top like that. Before it has a chance to fully dry, you just go into your Perfect Translucent powder, dab it, and then you're just gonna stamp this on. Now this is basically the defining move that shifted everything for me, because it gives your brow pencil something to grip to. So you have a little bit more accuracy in the way that you apply your pencil. It stays longer. There's not like oil shifting it around, chewing it up throughout the day. The primer's in there, so it's really helping it to set. It is the one thing. I don't know why I didn't think to do it. Did you? Like, do other people know this? I just feel like I never even thought to do it. So since I have, I've been so happy. Okay, so I do a two-tone technique just because I have very, very sparse brows. So you might only need one. This is Claim to Frame Brow Pencil number 2. And I basically start at the bottom of my brow like that. And so I'm holding it on the end like this. And I follow up the bottom. Just basically following the natural shape of my brow. And then if you are like me and you have thinning brows, this is where I switch to the number 1. It's more for blonde. And so I'm just gonna start to go over it, right above where that initial line you created was. Holding it the same way, I kind of stick it right between like that. It gives me better accuracy on the way I'm drawing my brows. So I just kind of start towards the middle and a little bit at the beginning here. And so short little hair-like strokes. And then once I get to the arch, I tend to spend a little bit of time there. Little tiny strokes building up that arch. I tend to put my finger on my face like this for a bit of stability. And then I pull it back down towards the front. Now I take my spoolie and just give it a little brush. I may have forgot to do this just before I started. I generally do, but I'm in a video, so I tend to forget things when you're in the middle of trying to remember all the things. And I find this two-tone brow it's really natural looking too, because brow hairs for some people, especially if you have lighter brows, they tend to be a little darker towards the inner part and a little bit lighter towards the top. Now, if you have one solid brow, you can get away with just the one color and you're very lucky. But to mimic the very natural effect of natural brows, so you don't look like you painted them on, I find this works the best. Just carry it down on the bottom. Okay. So in previous videos, I tended to do brow gel first. Now I tend to do it after, just because I find when I do brow gel first, sometimes it makes the pencil grip in areas a little bit unnaturally, so it's a little patchier looking. That's just how it works for me. Doesn't mean it's the right way. Try it both ways, see what you think. So at this point, I take my Strike Rich Brow Gel. This is in the light color. And that's when I'll add in a little tiny bit of extra texture. And it does sort of beef up the brows, so if you have really thinning brows, it'll just make them look a little bit more, it'll make them look like more. So just kind of, I go through and I kind of do little tiny pulls all the way through. So this is more of a tutorial for a thinner brow. If you have a thicker brow, you might only need this. This might be like one and done for you, in which case you're super lucky. I've always had thin brows and I've grown to just love doing them. You just got to convince yourself that you enjoy the art of applying them. Otherwise, you will hate it every single day. So here's the difference between the two. And I mean, this looks fairly natural. It doesn't look like I have a painted on brow. It certainly can. There's ways to make it even look more extreme. That is not for this video, but maybe in the future, if you guys want, I can go full throttle. Like this is not everything. Like we need to get that straight. This is not everything. I have, let's call it facets. I have different facets, and a lot of my clientele likes a really natural, quick approach. And that is totally fine. I love all my clients. It's like music. There's no bad, okay, there is bad music. I can appreciate a lot of different types of music. There's a lot of different types of people, and there's not a bad way. There's not a bad way. It's just your way. And so I tend to spend a lot of time focusing on natural when I particularly prefer a bit more extreme. I would. Depends if I'm going out. If I'm going out, which is not very often these days, damn COVID, I can throw it down, and I enjoy doing that once in a while. I think sometimes it's really good to do that as a woman, just to like go full throttle once in a while, just because you can, simply, and own it. I feel like if you can do that, it develops confidence. Because if you've never done that and then suddenly you do it, you have to fight off a whole bunch of emotions of like, oh my God, I'm standing out in like a weird way, just like I am without my brow being done. I'm going to do it. But yeah, it's a nice little test to just be different. I'm a huge believer in being different and embracing the differences and learning different techniques and loving all kinds. Like, let's not just be in a pigeonhole box. It's not just being like one box and that's the only way. That's a very boring world. So this was not meant to be that kind of video. So I'm gonna stop there. I'm gonna finish my other brow, but I hope that you guys learned something here. It really isn't a lot of work. This brow pencil does everything you need. If you have found this video and you have not yet been hooked up with the product, there's a link below. Click on it, it will take you direct to the site, and you can help yourself. If you have questions, you can email me and I can help you. And otherwise, I'm gonna see you guys in the next video.